Hi, I'm Kendra Bailey Morris, and we're here today in Surlatop's Kitchen in lovely Richmond, Virginia. And today we're going to be making a really nice steak dish for the grill. It's a New York strip with a chimichurri sauce. And a chimichurri sauce is basically an Argentinian sauce that's made from fresh herbs. You can use whatever fresh herbs you have in your garden. To get started, what I'm going to do is get some fresh parsley here. And I'm just going to give this a rough chop because it's going to all go into the food processor and be pureed. Add this in. Parsley is the one herb that you really do want to have in this dish. I've got some cilantro. And again, any herbs will work, whatever you've got. If you've got some sage, that's really nice. You can add that in. A little bit of rosemary wouldn't hurt. I like the pungency of cilantro. A lot of people have a love-hate relationship with it. I like it. And this is some fresh oregano from my garden, which I'm very proud of. And I'm just, again, going to give this a rough chop and throw it in. And now I'm going to add some chopped garlic, about 3 cloves. You can add more or less depending on how much you like garlic. I really like garlic. And we're also going to add a jalapeno. Typically, this dish isn't spicy, but I wanted to add some hot peppers. A lot of people have hot peppers growing in their garden, and they have an abundance, and they don't know what to do with them. So I thought this would be a great way to work in some peppers. And I'm just going to seed this. A lot of people think that a jalapeno, the spiciest part are the seeds, but actually the spiciest part is the pith. Both kind of spicy. So you want to remove that if you want to get some of the heat out of it. You could do a serrano, or if you're really daring, you can do a habanero. Really daring, wear gloves if you do that. Next, I'm going to add a shallot. And I love the flavor of a shallot. It's kind of a cross between an onion and garlic. And I'm just going to dice this up. If you don't have a shallot handy, you could add green onions, or you could just add a regular yellow onion. That would work just as well. Now I've got 1 large shallot in here. Now I'm just going to kind of mix this around a little bit. Now I'm going to add some red wine vinegar. And finally, I've got about 3/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. And this is what is going to help to emulsify it and bring it together as a nice sauce. I'm going to add that in. And I'm going to puree this up. I like to periodically go in and kind of scrape down the sides here. And this is looking good. The final thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of salt. I like coarse sea salt and a little bit of black pepper. I'm going to give this one more whirl, and then I'm going to move on to the steak. What I have now is a really beautiful New York strip. I like to have them cut at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick if you can get your butcher to do that. It makes them much easier to do on the grill, and that way you can have a nice pink center and not overcook it when they're too thin. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Okay, so we've salt and peppered this. And now we're going to put a pretty good amount of olive oil on it. You might say that's a lot, but it's going to add a really nice flavor element to this. Also keep it from sticking on the grill. And I preheat the grill to medium high. You want a pretty high heat on this because you want a nice char, and it's going to cook rather quickly as steaks do, and you don't want to overcook it. So I'm going to put this on the grill. And I'm putting it at a bit of an angle so you can get those nice grill marks, those nice crisscross marks, always so lovely. And we're going to let this cook about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Obviously, you can cook it to your desired doneness, but we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll be right back. So this is looking great. This looks done. I'm going to take it off the grill. And typically, you would let this rest about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's a real important part of grilling steaks because you don't want all the juice to come out. And all I'm going to do is just give this a little slice on the bias here. That is perfectly cooked. And here we have our chimichurri sauce, which is finished and ready to go. And I like to just kind of serve a little on top. Just drizzle it. Now this sauce makes enough for at least 2 steaks. So for Heart of the Home, I'm Kendra Bailey Morris. Let's get cooking.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.